I like the setup. I think the website is very user friendly. I've tried, there are all these different legal marketing firms or companies. They have different systems. I think the way that Legal Match is set up, it allows the potential client to give some initial information and then they get almost an immediate response. And I think that kind of interface works well for me, and I think it works well for clients. Because I have tried a number of them. I have advertised with FindLaw, didn't like their system. I advertised with Avvo, AVVO. I don't like that system. Both of them waste of time and money. Other ones call me, I just turn them all away because this Legal Match's setup is very unique. All the other ones, they're lead generating systems. I just don't like their setup. The way you're designed is perfect for me, and I think it's the most productive. I can decide how many new clients I want at any given time. I just need to start responding. Sometimes if I'm super busy, it's because I have a lot on my plate, so I may refrain for a period of time from accepting new clients. But then whenever I'm ready to start back up, I usually can get a client to retain me within a week. It's never been a problem for me. So I kind of control the influx of clients. This court and its procedure has changed, but what I've come to understand during this pandemic is that the practice of law is recession proof, it's coronavirus proof. My business has not slowed down at all. I've made adjustments for clients who are struggling financially, but I've had no issue, maybe because it's family law. There have been a lot of parents who've been denied visitation. My practice hasn't slowed from the coronavirus. It's recession proof, it's coronavirus proof. Maybe it's because of the area of law, I don't know, but it hasn't affected me at all. I've not slowed down a bit, except by choice maybe. I like being in charge of when I want a new client. Like when I'm sometimes I'll just respond. And I also feel a certain responsibility to provide answers, even though it's a client that I know has a hopeless case, because they just don't understand what they're talking about. So I do feel like it's a public service for me to say, look, you're not handling it right, or this is not something that you can take to court, or you're in the wrong state, even though I know I won't be representing them. I like providing responses, so that's one thing that I do. I like being in charge of when I can retain my own clients. I like the flexibility, and when I want a client, I'll just decide, well, this week I'm going to get a new client. I have enough space. I'll just answer a few. I'm really good at how I do it, and then one or two will retain me. If I wanted, I could have 4 or 5 or 6 new clients a month, honestly. And that's a tremendous amount of work for one attorney, in addition to keeping up with the other cases. At least it is for my practice. I do recommend Legal Match to some of my colleagues when they complain about, oh, how do I get business? There's no business around. I ask them, well, what type of marketing do you use? And I suggest Legal Match. And some of them pursue it. I know people who are on it. And one of them, he was quite happy with it. I think he went into the criminal law allocation. And he thanks me when I see him regularly. Legal Match works for attorneys who are on top of, attorneys have a very hectic schedule, very busy, and if they are disciplined enough to check their Legal Match responses on a regular basis, this is a good fit. For example, my law partner, she had the bankruptcy allocation. She was in charge of the bankruptcy allocation, and I had the family law allocation. However, she wasn't good at checking every morning which potential clients had responded to bankruptcy inquiries. So it was very hard for her to make good use of what Legal Match had to offer. Whereas I'm pretty much on top of it. I see them coming in by email, which is very helpful. If I'm at my desk, I'll usually stop and answer right away, and I'll follow. I have a very good system that works really well. I'm just a real expert at it. After all these years, I've honed it down to a science. So my point is, if the attorney has is disciplined enough to respond by email right away, follow-up calls, follow-up texts, this will be a good match for them. But if they're all over the place, too busy, can't sit down and respond, it's not going to work for them. Well, it's my secret key to retaining clients over my competition. And I will tell you, Nancy, what it is. It is that clients will tell me that they hired me over the other attorneys that responded to them. And I'll say, well, why? And they'll say, because when I wrote a response, it was tailored to their inquiry. They said they could tell that the other attorneys just responded right away, but it was with a boilerplate where they couldn't even tell that the attorney had actually read the details of their inquiry. Whereas what I do, I have templates, and then there's one section, and this actually one of your brilliant marketing managers who's long gone gave me as a tip. He said, make it tailored. So there's one paragraph of each template that says, upon reviewing your case details, and then I'll ask questions. You know, why did this happen? Can you tell me more about this? Specific fact questions. And they like being asked questions. They like knowing that someone actually read what they wrote, not just said, hey, I can help you, I'm an attorney, call me. So they like that. Well, it comes and goes in spurts, but at least I would say 5 to 10 a week. I get great reviews, people. It's also a huge ego boost when people, even if they don't hire me, they thank me for giving them advice, and I don't charge them. They also tell me, here's another tip. Some of the people on this allocation, they'll say that they can't even talk to an attorney. They have to talk to a paralegal, and that is a huge turnoff. Whereas I make myself available. It's a free consultation is a free consultation. And if they don't hire me, that's fine. It's just part of this marketing. I really, really like Legal Match. I think it's brilliant. And it's well worth the money. Of all the new clients that come in, at least 50% are generated from Legal Match. The other 50% are referrals, and those might be referrals from a Legal Match. But right now I have a caseload of maybe 60 cases, and I'd say 2/3 are from Legal Match. And I've had some who are repeat clients that I've had again, and I mean, that's how many problems they have. Bless their heart. I've had clients from like the very beginning of starting work with you, or they refer me to their relative or friend. Or so I will say one thing: a criminal law attorney who was on it's the guy I referred who was very happy with Legal Match.
Yes.
He said the key for him is when he gets a Legal Match inquiry for a criminal law, he responds right away, because criminal defendants are in such hot water that if they don't get a response right away, they just go to the next, like Rolodex, next contact. So he said that was his key in getting a whole bunch of clients. In allocations, you have to respond right away. Criminal law is one of them. Because if they're facing like a felony charge, they're not going to be sitting around waiting. They're just going to go to the next person. I've been a member for quite a while. I don't know how long, but it's been a long-standing relationship. And Legal Match had approached me and my law partner at the time, and we were actually looking for some sort of marketing service. So we gave Legal Match a try, and we tried a couple others, but Legal Match seemed to be the best fit for me. And after my law partnership went its separate way, that dissolved itself, I continued with Legal Match. Not only in Ohio, but also in Texas and in several allocations.